throughout the week. During the 2 days regional joint health review mission in Yumbe district that was from the 11th to the 12th of September 2024, in which different stakeholders expressed their concerns about the health sector in the West Nile region, the general public cried out to the Ministry of Health to construct a regional cancer institute in Arua City. Take a look.
As the cases of cancer continues to be rampant in West Nile region, most of the high cost of journey into Mulago, a National Cancer Institute, to treat the disease, public is calling out the Minister of Health to construct the Regional Cancer Institute in West Nile region at Arua City. This message was passed during the 2 days regional joint health review mission in Yumbe from 11 to 12 September 2024, in which different stakeholders expressed their concerns about the matter. Opia Florence, cancer survivor from Moyo, advises people to go for screening rather than resorting for local herbs when felt with the signs of the disease. She therefore calls for government support by regionalizing cancer institutes.
I happen to be one of the cancer survivors, so I'm appealing to our community. Once when you feel something will start, don't attempt to do local herbs. You better go for screening, so be tested and find a way to get the right medication instead of going for local herbs. If I were to be like other people, I might attempt to go for local medicine, but I thought twice to go for hospital to get more what is going on. That's why I was screening that my diagnosis with the cancer. With our financial crisis, we cannot afford to go to Mulago to get all these tests. So I'm appealing to our people, the stakeholders, to see that we also have these facilities in our city here.
Meanwhile, Dr. Sesto Jonathan similarly advises affected personnel to reach to the regional referral hospitals such that quick assessments can be done before they are referred to Uganda Cancer Institute.
One of the things that I would advise the community, and especially when they visit the health centers, and the doctors or the health workers have an impression that this might be a cancer, would advise them that they reach the regional referral hospitals whenever they are referred there, such that we can make a quicker assessment and most likely refer them appropriately and timely to Uganda Cancer Institute. However, there is hope from the Minister of Health that Arua region or West Nile region is also going to get a cancer institute in the near future, such that it lessens their burdens of moving all the way when they are weak to Kampala.
Honorable Dr. George Didiboka, Chairman Committee on Health in Parliament of Uganda, said the Parliament of Uganda, in collaboration with the Minister of Health, have agreed to regionalize cancer institutes, and the finance for it is already secured.
The Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, in collaboration with the Minister of Health, have come up with a program to ensure the cancer services are regionalized. There are going to be 3 regional cancer centers built. One is going to be in Ibarara, the second is going to be in Mbale, and the third is going to be in Kampala. The financing for it has already been secured. We're in the process of seeing to it that the contract is procured for the services to be brought closer to the people. We already have Gulu Regional Cancer Treatment Center that has been built, that has been equipped, and with skeletal staff already deployed to start providing cancer treatment and care services in the northern region. Recruitments are right now ongoing, with more staff going to be put in Gulu, and that will help us prevent our people from traveling all the way from northern region to Mulago.
According to 2018 global statistics, over 30,000 new cancer cases were recorded in Uganda. Of these, over 18,000 were female, while over 14,000 were males. The number of cancer deaths stood over 21,000, of which over 11,000 were among females and over 10,000 in males. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
Moving on to Adjumani District, 5 suspects were arrested for illegal military recruitment of 36 minors in Adjumani District after a group of people went to carry out secret military training for young refugees who were brought from Bidi refugee settlement from Yumbe District to undergo military procession in Oluji refugee settlement. Take a look.
The arrest of the suspects came after a group of people went on to carry secret military training for young refugees who were brought from Bidi refugee camp in Yumbe district to undergo the military processions in Oligi refugee settlement. The incident happened on Friday, 13 September 2024. ASP Dragudu Ignatius, the public relations officer for Police Northwest Region, confirmed the incident, saying the trainers pretended to be preaching the gospel, but in turn had to hold the illegal process of training the young refugees, especially the children who were minors.
There are some group of people who collected the children of refugees across the other side of Bidi, and they brought them in all the refugee settlement in the hood. And they are training them there, that they are preaching, they are preaching them gospel. The gospels in which they are taking people through military training school. I mean military drills, and even rolling, including obstacle crossing, generally military drill, which our force becomes suspicious. And they went and yet bring them to Adjumani police station for profile. After profiling, then we shall know what to do with the office of Prime Minister.
He, however, said the Northwest region is generous and hospitable land for everyone and calls on people to focus on development rather than engaging in criminal activities, or else they will face the long arms of the law.
The Northwest region is a lively place to stay, which we welcome everybody in Northwest region. But what people should bear in mind is that when you come in this region, you should come with the purpose of bringing development for this region. In the district of Yumbe, Obongi, Moyo and Adjumani. But if you come newly with your new agenda, with the new things, for the purpose of committing crime, and then the authorities will come for you. The authorities will come for you, and you have to account it fully. Tell us the reason why you have come here in Northwest region, and we assess. We don't chase people, we welcome people, but we want people to stay in harmony. We don't want problems.
Following the arrest made by police, the 5 people are in police custody as further investigation continues to find more facts and details of their motives. Peace Ushoki, Mchima Alan, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, a qualified midwifery from Day Health Center in Day Sub-County, Pakwach District, where we received a guard of applause from the different stakeholders after a groundbreaking a record of the health world by delivering over 70 mothers in a space of 1 month. Oracle Benson Pastore reports.
Ataku Haret, a qualified midwifery from the Health Center 2 in the sub-county, Pakwach District, received the guard of applause from different stakeholders after breaking record in health world by delivering over 70 mothers in a space of 1 month. This shocking story was revealed during the 7th West Nile Region Annual Joint Health Sector Review Mission held in Yumbe District. Ataku Haret, the midwifery who delivered 76 mothers, said she sometimes goes up to 80 in a month, which is hectic.
When we go to deliveries, on average it's 70, but other times we go up to around 80, that is per month. And concerning the workload, the street is hectic. There is that tension of doing both day and night. I rest only when there is no man on the ward or there is no client in maternity. That's why I get my off. But otherwise throughout the year, I'm on duty. It is hectic. I've been raising the issue to the district, but if you take according to the government structure, it is health center tools are supposed to have one midwife. That's why, as for now, I am still working in health center too.
She further raised concern of inadequate working facilities, which sometimes cause delays in delivery of the mothers.
As for now, where we operate in, where all that delivery is coming from, we have a small maternity room with one, in fact, it is labor suit, then postnatal. So we have only 3 postnatal beds and one delivery bed. So on other times, I risk taking them to them on examination course rather than making them to deliver down on the floor. I keep one on the delivery bed, then I help the other one on the examination course.
Honorable Dr. George Didi Boka, Member of Parliament of Bong constituency, congratulates her and encourages other healthcare workers to emulate the good work done by her.
In Pakwach, they emerged the best health center in terms of the number of deliveries, assisted deliveries by a qualified healthcare worker, and particularly midwife. So I congratulate the midwife, and I want to use the same opportunity to encourage other healthcare workers to emulate the good work that this midwife has demonstrated. One of the issues that came out very, very clearly in our discussions is related to the numbers and the quality of healthcare workers in our health facilities. We noted there are shortage of doctors, nurses, midwives, anesthetists, and the like. But even then, for those that are in place, in some of the facilities, we noted some element of presentism, where the staff are present but they are not delivering.
Ale Madiki, Secretary of Social Services Marsa District, appreciates her for the brilliant performance, therefore urges other midwives in other health facilities to up their performances.
When you look at the aspect of commitment by the health workers, I may not generalize this because some of these are isolated cases. I must first of all appreciate that some of them are doing very well. Notably, the midwife that comes from Pakwach, that is Harriet, she is doing very well. Credit has to go where it is due. Of course, she managed to deliver 76 mothers. There is a rampant cases of absenteeism in our facilities. When a midwife is not there and yet a pregnant mother who is expectant is already at the facility, what happens? This is a very big challenge, and I just want to make a humble appeal to all my midwives across West Nile sub-region, even the country at large, to love their job.
Therefore, latest statistical report indicates that in public sector, Pakwach district has 1 health center 4 facility, 6 health center 3 facilities, and lastly 9 health center 2 facilities in which delivery of mothers takes place. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
Moving on to Moyo District, leaders in Moyo District are urging contractors to follow procedures to ensure no criminal acts are committed. This was revealed by Honorable Anyama Williams, the LC5 chairman, Moyo District, after a contractor locked Dufule Seed Secondary School over delayed payment. Okumo Dominic reports.
The locking of the school comes after the subcontractor accused the district of failing to clear his money following the completion of the construction works at the school, yet the facilities are being used by the learners without being commissioned. Honorable Anyama Williams, the chairman local council 5 Moyo district, after receiving the information pertaining the close of the school, said the district had held several meetings with the different stakeholders, including the contractor, on how they can resolve the matter amicably, but the contractor became impatient, yet in government procedures are being followed. Besides, the money the contractor is demanding came in form of a variation because all the money for the construction works had been paid to the contractor, and said it is criminal to lock a public office.
The contractor became, of course, for him, he became impatient. First of all, I want to condemn the actions of the contractor, because the contractor knows his money for the project was paid. What he is claiming is now what? A variation, which ministry has approved, the PS has written, but it is a process that has to be done. All government systems and processes are structured. You don't just handle things like you handle family household issues. So, and two, a school is a public facility. By the way, it is criminal to lock public office.
Mrs. Ongerto Jeska, the Chief Administrative Officer Moyo, lauded Extreme Engineering Company, the subcontractor who constructed the school, but said the money in question came up as a result of variation during the construction, which they had raised to the ministry, and the money is available and will be paid to the contractor once the processes are complete.
We should be very grateful to Extreme. He has done very good work, and I don't think there is any seed school that beats that seed school that he has really constructed. The estimation of the engineer then was we needed 500 million if he had to do whatever he was supposed to do, and yet we had 217. So now he continued with the work with good heart, being a child of home, finished the work. And you know, it is just natural. Somebody has overspent his money. He had to do whatever he did. But we took up the issue, followed up with Ministry of Education. They gave us money. The balance is the one that I'm saying we have money and we are going to pay.
Mr. Chandigarh Geoffrey, the Chief Executive Officer, Extreme Engineering Services, said he decided to lock the school because he has not done official handover to the district, saying besides the house being constructed, there was the component of installing lightning arresters, which was never done because the district has failed to release the money for the lightning arrester, yet lightning continues to run havoc in the school.
Project like this, it needs to be completed, and then after completion, it needs to be commissioned by the Ministry of Education so that the end user can properly occupy the buildings. That's why we lock. And secondly, we take prevention of our children who are learning in this school. Why? Because now, if you look at this time, a lot of heavy rains.
Mr. Ahumesi Peter Rogers, a teacher at Dufele Seed Secondary School, said the issue of the contractor locking down the school is something which is beyond the school management, saying this has paralyzed activities in the school, which has made it difficult for the students to access the classrooms for their holiday programs, and urged the district leadership to come out and resolve the matter before it escalates into more problems.
About locking the school and the contractor, it had now become something which is above us, but as you can see, it has really disorganized a lot of activities in the school. Some time back, people from the district, they have been all along coming and trying to see that things are in, let's say, in place. But all of a sudden, and this holiday, when the students are blocked, or rather they are already at home, that informed us that this gentleman came and locked the school.
Cora Dominic, the head boy of the school, said the decision of the contractor locking down the school has greatly affected them in a way that they cannot conduct their studies in the school, and feels if this is not resolved timely, it will have negative impact on the students in terms of their performance.
This week, as per now, we are outside, but the issues concerning the locking the doors, the administration have not informed us for the issue, but since we came here on Monday, we found that the teachers were outside and the doors were locked by the contractor. That is what we know, and it came into our concern.
Dufale Seed Secondary School is one of the 5 seed secondary schools established by the Ministry of Education in 5 West Nile districts of Adjumani, Moyo, Yumbe, Koboko and Maracha under the Uganda Governmental Inter-Physical Transfer Program, funded by the World Bank in partnership with the Government of Uganda to construct seed secondary schools in sub-counties within the districts. The 5 schools were all awarded to one contractor in the names of Achora United Constructions Limited, which was overwhelmed by the too much work, and that explains why
man came and locked the school.
Cora Dominic, the head boy of the school, said the decision of the contractor locking down the school has greatly affected them in a way that they cannot conduct their studies in the school, and feels if this is not resolved timely, it will have negative impact on the students in terms of their performance.
This week, as per now, we are outside, but the issues concerning the locking the doors, the administration have not informed us for the issue, but since we came here on Monday, we found that the teachers were outside and the doors were locked by the contractor. That is what we know, and it came into our concern.
Dufale Seed Secondary School is one of the 5 seed secondary schools established by the Ministry of Education in 5 West Nile districts of Adjumani, Moyo, Yumbe, Koboko and Maracha under the Uganda Governmental Inter-Physical Transfer Program, funded by the World Bank in partnership with the Government of Uganda to construct seed secondary schools in sub-counties within the districts. The 5 schools were all awarded to one contractor in the names of Achora United Constructions Limited, which was overwhelmed by the too much work, and that explains why Achora United decided to hand over the construction of Dufale Seed Secondary School to Extreme Engineering Limited, which completed the construction and now decides to lock the school, accusing the district of delay in paying his money, which came as a result of variations during the construction. Dominic Antonio Kumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Moving on to Nebi District, the Office of Nebi District Commissioner has threatened to arrest parents who keep their children at home on the onset of school reopening for the 3rd term in school. Alfred Jawok reports.
The Office of Nebi Resident District Commissioner has threatened to arrest parents who will keep their children home at the onset of school reopening for the 3rd term. This was revealed today, Friday, 13th September this year, during the 3rd term opening meeting with stakeholders held at his office. According to Donald Owachgiu, Assistant Resident District Commissioner Nebi, who represented the RDC, parents whose children will not go back to school are at risk of being arrested by the security team under supervision of the district education ordinance.
But there is a tendency where parents normally keep their kids, their children at home, that they are taking 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but that is not right. My advice, let all take our children back to school.
He therefore retaliated to arrest anyone caught in the action, and will not spare parents who keep their children at homes during school hours. Owashgi also condemned some parents who engage their children in businesses, farming among others, noting that in the process some parents escape their parental responsibilities.
Because there are a lot of things, and this kind of syllabus that we are on nowadays, the syllabus is so hectic, whereby the student, the pupils are needed back so that they can capture the syllabus, so that they can finish all the syllabus on time.
Honorable Emmanuel Urombi, chairperson LC5 Nibi District, equally warned teachers against sending fearful messages of school fees to the parents using media channels instead of confronting them. He urged parents not to fear, rather be strong during the period of academic calendar and be confident in case of any challenges in paying school fees.
Monday, I'm also in school. I'm going to move around and check how many. And then I'll also be moving in community. If I find young ones, then I'll assume that community. I'll give back in the media that these are the sub-counties, these are the villages that they have not sent their children back to school yet. But let it not be a force. It is my request and total submission as your leader to guide you. It's my core mandate to mobilize people, to mobilize citizens for the good of the society and development and service delivery.
In the previous terms, Nibi District registered low turn-up of both teachers and learners on the first day of school reopening. According to the school calendar, third term will begin on Monday, 16th September this year. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, the general public in Moyo district has been urged to seek help from different government officers when faced with challenges in relation to immigration, and has also been warned against paying money to customs since movement is free within the East African countries. Okumu Dominic reports.
The Baraza meeting organized by Uganda Revenue Authority URA is aimed at rebuilding the relationship between the tax collecting body, which has not been good, with the public, and to enlighten the public about the importance of tax payment and the different services being rendered by the tax collecting body. Mr. Gore Goffin, the Resident District Commissioner Moyo, urged the public to always consider seeking help from the different government offices once they have challenges with immigration, saying nobody should be charged money at the custom because Uganda is among the East African community countries where there is free movement within the East African community countries, adding that charging people money at the custom is an act of corruption which has to stop with immediate effect.
Anybody who has challenges at our migrations, especially what Mama was explaining, our officers are open. That is corruption. You cannot charge people. When East African community, there are already new methods of migration, free movement. So when you get those challenges, let us know. Because any money you pay without official receipt is corruption.
Mrs. Claire Sanyu, the Uganda Revenue Authority Supervisor Stakeholder Management in Northern Region, threw more light on the Community Baraza, saying the meeting is intended to enlighten the public on majorly the services being rendered by Uganda Revenue Authority as they continue to engage in collecting taxes to develop the country and also foster good relationship with the taxpayers as they get to understand the plight of the taxpayers.
Came together to find out better, to discuss or forge a way forward on how best we can handle enforcement operations and how best URA can collect revenue. So one of the resolutions that the meeting came up with was the 3E strategy. And the 3E strategy stands for engage, educate, and then enforce.
Mr. Mawerere Abe, the Regional Manager Customs Northern Region Field Services, urged the parents to discourage their children from engaging in smuggling activities which endangers their lives, but rather encourage them to be in school so as to have bright future, adding that smuggling is illegal but it's not a capital offense. Therefore, once someone is caught with smuggled goods, the person needs to surrender the goods and make payment in form of tax for the goods, and then will be given the goods other than attempting to run away, which in most cases leads to accidents and loss of lives.
So I want us to take this message to our friends who are smuggling. We have had some bad incidents in the past where, because our enforcement team is running after you and telling you that you have smuggled goods, you throw the border, you drive recklessly and you end up even breaking your leg, sometimes fighting with enforcement and they even shoot you. This is the message I want to bring to you.
Vukoni Norbert, a youth leader in Germany who also attended the meeting, tasked Uganda Revenue Authority to enlighten the public on where the taxes being collected usually goes, saying many times the body collects taxes, but when someone goes to seek health services in the hospitals, they are being told there are no drugs, yet the people always pay tax to the government.
Regarding smuggling, to be honest, I will say I was born and raised in the streets, and the best things the streets will only teach us is to say you have to overcome those extra taxes, and that is how we are trained. But now, at least today, URA is telling us the importance of paying this tax. But I'm also very interested in one thing. Once you enlighten us about the importance of the tax paying, let us also know where our tax money is going. Because in our communities, you talk about the hospitals or whatever places. If you go to these places, physically for us, we go there.
Mrs. Rose Kiza, a businesswoman, said her commercial house has been affected by the Koboko Yumbe Moyo Road, and this has forced her to break down and rebuild it, but she always keeps receiving messages from Uganda Revenue Authority asking her to refile her returns, yet her house is still under construction, adding that she has on many occasions gone to Uganda Revenue Authority offices to inform them about it, but now she is being seen as an enemy by some staff of the Uganda Revenue Authority.
We have knocked down our buildings, and some of us even had the courage to go to Uganda Revenue Authority to say the building no longer exists. We are looking for money to put them on. But we continue getting the messages that we should file our tax. What do I pay? The building is under construction.
The Uganda Revenue Authority URA launched the Engage, Educate and Enforce the 3 E's program in February this year, following the unfortunate incident which happened in Mariokolo, where some people were critically injured during Uganda Revenue Authority enforcement, something which angered the public. It's upon this background that the leaders of the tax body decided to engage the community through barazas and other forms of engagement so as to foster unity and educate the public about its mandate as they continue to enforce and collect taxes. So far, several barazas have been held since then, in line with the resolution of the meeting between the leadership of Uganda Revenue Authority and the stakeholders, which was held in Arua City in February this year. Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. During a 2-day training aimed at strengthening leaders on infrastructure development, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development through the Uganda National Urban Forum has advised the newly elected leaders to sensitize their locals on good infrastructures to improve on better plans for the municipality. Alfred Jawok reports.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development through Uganda National Urban Forum has advised the newly elected leaders to sensitize their locals on good infrastructures to improve better plans for the municipality. The Municipal Development Forum leaders play crucial roles in driving local development and improving community livelihoods. This was on Wednesday 11th September 2024 during the 2-day training aimed to strengthen the leaders on infrastructural development. However, during the training, the ministry held election of office bearers to oversee development of the municipal, where Mr. Vincent Okaba was elected as chairperson, Francis Wedunga as general secretary, among others.
Mr. Okaba Vincent as the president of MBM Forum.
Bill Kasije, government valuer, appealed to the new chairperson and his executives to leave out politics in their new leadership.
With us we have a workshop which will involve inducting as well as election of a municipal development forum. So this is ideally coming from the urban development forums, and the long-term goal is to have many of these municipalities fully modernized, fully up to date, up to the urban level.
He further advised the new chairperson to work together with the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development for easy coordination.
So the purpose of this training here today is to have these forums active, more active than they have been, fully give them the capacity to operate and move towards the infrastructure development generally of the various municipalities which have been selected. And amongst these, we also had a training on valuation, which is another core. As Ministry of Lands, our input is to have, as part of urbanization, is to have, of course, infrastructure development. This in turn comes from revenue collection, and this is where we have the valuation sector coming in to enable the municipality collect and generate more revenue.
Meanwhile, Honorable Geoffrey Ngiriker, Mayor of the municipality, is optimistic that the election of the leaders will cause development in the municipality, as they have been pushing the ministry for the election since 2022.
The election of Municipal Development Forum committees, and this is a very key issue to the stakeholders who shall be responsible for the development of NEBI Municipal, adding to the technical team and the political team. So we shall now have three arms that will be responsible for overseeing the development of NEBI Municipal. Thank you.
Francis Wedonga, one of the participants, narrated how they have been waiting for the forum to be in place.
The training basically today, we are here to have the members elected, members for the MDFs. The MDFs are municipal development forums, and we are yet for a break observing and trying to identify members with the required qualities.
Wedonga hopes that urban planning requires efforts of local community, and these will help the Ministry of Lands and Urban Development in their planning.
One of the qualities required is willingness to serve others voluntarily. There's someone to be innovative and creative. For that purpose, there is someone to have ability of a team player, someone to be non-chaotic, someone who doesn't have problems with other community members, persons with good characters and good reputations, among others. Basically, today's AGM meeting is on that.
Effective municipal development forum leaders empower communities, drive inclusive growth, and create sustainable development. Other leaders who were in attendance during the training include Mr. Gilbert Kermondo, Chief Government Valuer, municipal councillors, among others. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
During the 7th West Nile Joint Health Review Sector mission, co-hosted by Arua and Yumbe District Referral Hospitals from the 11th to the 12th of September 2024 in Yumbe District, over 170 stakeholders, such as health officers and technical personnel from the different districts, came to attend the event. Rako Benson Pastore reports.
During the 7th West Nile Region Joint Health Sector Review Mission co-hosted by Arua and Yumbe Regional Referral Hospitals from 11 to 12 September 2024 in Yumbe District, over 170 stakeholders such as health officers, technical personnel from various districts, political leaders, partners, cultural leaders, academia, media fraternity, private entities, developmental partners, among others, stand up to express their concerns on the performance of West Nile Region Health Sector, more so what can be done to enhance the sector. Dr. Andema Alex, Hospital Director, Arua Regional Referral Hospital, laments on some of the challenges in key areas that still continues to affect health sector in the region.
We have very few staff. If you take the regional hospitals combined, Yumbe and Arua, their staffing is at 18%, which is very low. And most districts also have low staffing. We need to discuss this and see if we can get solutions to this. Infrastructure is another thing, another problem which we need to address. including equipment. For instance, in Arua, the orthopedic unit is very poorly equipped, and yet we have very many orthopedic cases, some of which end up being referred. There's also the issue of coordination of medical emergency services, which we need to see how best we can handle it.
Honorable Feta Geoffrey, Chairman West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, said the issue of infrastructure, staff housing and equipment should be looked upon.
The issue of infrastructure, staff housing is very key. Arua Regional Hospital, there is a very beautiful structure there, but about, I think, between 500 to 1 billion shillings is needed to complete that facility. Now we need a regional voice to amplify, to justify to the powers that be that this beautiful infrastructure, when it is incomplete, it is no work done. But if you inject there 1 billion shillings, you finish it, you accommodate 10 doctors there. Issues of equipments. You train a doctor very well, he knows his work, but because he doesn't have equipment to do his work, it becomes redundant.
Dr. S.B. Kampa, a representative from Ministry of Health Department of Planning, similarly encourages the stakeholders to address the problems.
We acknowledge that there are challenges. One of the biggest is that neonatal conditions are now the leading cause of death in the country, and we need tangible measures to ensure that we address the problem and not only speak about it. The country is committed to ending the newborn death, preventable newborn death by 2030. So if we are to end, we have to have interventions in place that really address the issue. Similarly, we are committed to bringing the maternal mortality down to 70 per 100,000 in the next 5 years, and we are still, while we have registered improvement, we are still way off track. So it's my humble request that as we prepare for Zombo, we do put together interventions that will help us address these challenges.
Meanwhile, Honorable Dr. George Didi Doka, Member of Parliament of Bon Constituents and Chairman Committee on Health in Parliament, appeals to the Ministry to see that all the issues that have been discussed should appear in the budget of next financial year.
There are a number of issues and concerns that have been discussed and reflected in our action matrix that have resource implications. Without ensuring that these are captured in our ministerial policy statement, especially the policy statement of the Ministry of Health, and the votes under the Ministry of Health will not attract resources. So appeal to the Ministry of Health to see to it that many of these issues that have been raised that have budgetary implications should appear in the budget framework papers, the ministerial policy statements, and your proposals for the annual work plan and budget 2025-2026, and in the medium-term expenditure framework of your local governments, the regional entities as well.
Yeah. Haji Sulman, Resident District Commissioner, Yumbe District, encourages stakeholders to work as a team for better health services.
Here, we have been pointing at each other, the ministry, national medical stores, the blood bank, the cows who are not doing recruitment, and also the cow says the ministry stopped us from recruiting. But I know this conference has made us know that we have to work as a team so that we do good services to our people.
West Nile Region Joint Health Sector Review Mission is an annual engagement at the end of every financial year, basically to enhance the health sector, and the next edition shall be co-hosted by Yumbe Regional Referral Hospital and Zombo District. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Moyo Public Service Commission has been urged to improve on accurate human resource planning and forecasting so as to avoid suspicion among the among the general public. The urge was made by Honorable Nyama Williams, the LC5 chairman, at his office. Okumu Dominic reports.
The statement comes after a section of the public within the district point accusing fingers to the Service Commission, whom they said is engaged in unethical behavior such as corruption and taking bribes from the job seekers, among other suspicious behaviors. Honorable Nyama Williams, the chairman Local Council 5 Moyo District, when approached on the matter, said it's true there was a scenario where the Service Commission advertised for positions but recruited 8 people, but said when they tried to inquire how the irregularity came about, they said they were expecting some staff to retire within 3 months of the recruitment period, so they needed to recruit people who will be able to replace them.
Because it is true, for instance, there were positions that were advertised, vacancies were 4, for which 8 people at the end were taken. We also disagree with that principle, because if you advertise for 4, you take 4. If you want to recruit 5, take 5. Although they explained the circumstances under which this happened. For instance, they cited examples where there's a vacancy here, but you anticipate in the next 3 months another staff will retire, or in the next 2 months another staff will retire. There are those kind of cases also in some instances.
Mrs. Ongerto Jessica, the Chief Administrative Officer Moyo, said people should have trust in the people they have brought to serve them, saying the civil servants grapple with little resources, yet the people keep making blank statements about them. She urged the public to come out clear on cases of corruption in the civil service so that they will be able to take action against such offenders.
I think people should have trust in the people they have brought to serve them. I'm not saying they're angels, but of course, the time I have been here, I think they try. The resources are very limited that if you just put your eyes to see. Now look like the money that we are paying for Dufule. It could have done other works somewhere. Now another person who doesn't know will say, you see, this money has been eaten somewhere. And yet it has not been eaten.
Honorable Bada Emmanuel, the district councillor representing Moyo sub-county to the district council, said there are evidences to show that there are recruitment challenges, giving an example of the Service Commission advertising 4 positions but ended up recruiting 8 people, saying it's shameful, adding that the decentralization program of the government is aimed at giving opportunities for the people to be recruited locally so as to benefit and develop their districts, but if there are rots in the system, it robs the public of the chance to serve their people.
Yeah, it's quite evidence that there is recruitment challenges. For example, smaller number of positions are declared, and at a later time you'll find that, for example, in a position, 4 positions are declared, you'll find that at a later time 8 positions have been given or awarded appointments. This is quite embarrassing, and it gives dishonest in our people, and it also becomes a kind of cheating on our own people. Why the decentralization program put in place by Act of Parliament came in place as that you can get opportunity at your home, you can serve your people while at home, you can build your home, you can invest back home as a result of getting job right home. But once issues start rotting, you'll find that we realize even the Service Commission has not been reporting to us.
According to the information obtained from the public, the Service Commission of the district is being invaded by some wrong elements who engage in unethical behaviors such as corruption, exchange of jobs for bribe, and advertising less positions and recruiting more people, among others, something which made the district chairman to call an indoor meeting to address the outcry of the public so as to find lasting solutions and remedies to the accusations labeled against the Service Commission. Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And that marks the end of the Nilecast on your West Nile Television.